Hi friends! I have a story I wanted to share with you today, but I don't have a book. This story is about a fish. He's not just any fish, he's a magic fish. And the story is about the greedy gimmies asking for too much. And it goes like this. Once upon a time, there was a little man who lived in a little house by the sea with his wife, and he was a fisherman. And every day he would go out to sea and he would try and catch some fish. He was in the middle of the ocean and he threw his line in and he felt a fish on it. And he's pulling and he's pulling and the fish is wiggling and wiggling. And he's reeling it in and reeling it in. And he pulls and pulls and pulls. And then out jumps the fish. And the fish started to talk to him. And the fish said, "Please put me back in the water. I'm really a magic fish. I'm not an ordinary fish." And the fisherman said, "Oh, if you're a magic fish, can you grant wishes?" And the fish said, "I can." And he said, "Oh, well, in that case, can you turn my little shack by the sea into a beautiful house?" He said, "Yes, go home, you shall have it." Back he goes into the water. So when the fisherman went back to his house by the sea, the little shack was gone, and in its place was a beautiful house. And he said to his wife, "Wife, we live in a beautiful house. Surely you must be happy." And she said, "We shall see." So the next morning, the wife said to her husband, "Husband, go back and see the fish." And he said, "Why? Why should I go back and see the fish?" She said, "Never mind why. Just go back and see the fish and tell him that I want to live in a beautiful castle." So the husband said, "Okay." So he went back to the sea and he had to call out, "Oh, fish of the sea, come listen to me. My wife begs a wish from the magic fish." And the fish popped his head out of the water and he said, "What does your wife wish for now?" And he said, "My wife wants to live in a beautiful castle." He said, "Okay, it is yours." And he dove back into the water. And when the fisherman went home, he saw his wife sitting in their beautiful castle. And he said, "Wife, the magic fish has granted us a beautiful castle. Surely you must be happy now." And she said, "We shall see." His wife was happy for 2 weeks. One day his wife said to him, "Husband, go back and see the magic fish." And he said, "Why? Why do I have to go back and see the magic fish? You have a beautiful castle." She said, "Never mind why. I want you to go back and tell him that I want to be queen of all the land." So he said, "Okay." He went back to the sea and he called out, "Oh, fish of the sea, come listen to me. My wife begs a wish from the magic fish." And there was the fish, popped his head out of the water, and he said, "What does she wish for now?" And he said, "She wants to be queen of all the land." And he said, "Okay, go home. It is yours." And he dove back into the water. So that day when the fisherman went home, his beautiful house was gone, and the castle was still there. And inside the castle, his wife was sitting on a beautiful throne with a robe all glittery and rubies and diamonds and a crown. And he said, "Wife, you are queen of all the land. Surely you must be happy now." And she said, "We shall see." She was happy for only 1 week. And she said, "Husband, go back and see the fish." He said, "Why? Why must I go back and see the fish?" She said, "Never mind why. Go back and see the fish and tell him I want to be queen of the sun and the moon and the stars." And he said, "I don't want to go back to the fish." And she said, "Go back and tell him this is what I want." So the husband went back to the sea And he called out, if you remember, friends, you can say it with me. Oh, fish of the sea, come listen to me. My wife begs a wish from the magic fish. And the fish jumped out of the water, and he did not look happy. He said, what does your wife wish for now? And the husband said, she wants to be queen of the sun and the moon and the stars. He said, no, she shall not be queen of the sun. She shall not be queen of the moon and the stars. She has asked for too much. Go back home to your shack by the sea. And he dove back into the water. So when the husband went back to his house, there was his shack by the sea. And I don't think his wife was very happy. And that's where they live to this day. That's the end of our story. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you later.